to my little friend.
Welcome to the Know. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Gus.
GTA 5 came out 2013. We're actually coming up on the 5-year mark.
Happy birthday.
You think we would be hearing about GTA 6 soon, right? I mean, not Red Dead Redemption 2 soon, because they got to get that out of the door. But so far, there have been entirely crickets. However, we got a little scoop on some details about where the next mainline game will be set, a possible release window, and who the protagonists may be.
Okay, so this info comes to us via an inside source. The source has requested to remain anonymous, so we won't be sharing any details about them.
Nope, we don't want to get them in trouble.
Right. As a result, take this information with the weight you feel is appropriate, but the source did provide us with some info that has us confident enough in their information to report on it.
But until we've got a second source to corroborate those details, still gonna put it in the rumor category. Don't take it as firm. I mean, especially given the timeline we're looking at, a lot could change between now and when the game hits anyway.
Okay, with all of that out of the way, here's what we've been told. The next Grand Theft Auto is codenamed Project Americas, and it will be based in Miami or possibly their facsimile of Miami, given how Rockstar does these things.
Yeah, I mean, most likely indicates a return to Vice City, because Vice City has been the stand-in for Miami in the past, but Miami does actually exist in the game's universe as well.
Complicated. So there were actually references to Miami in GTA Vice City, so this could be either. We don't have any further specifics to indicate either way which one this game will take place in. Vice City seems to make sense, and fans have been hoping for a return to that area, but that's speculation on our part.
So if I had to put money on one, it would be Vice City. One other major detail though, the reason it's codenamed Project Americas is because you'll be able to fly between the USA and South America when you're doing missions.
That's two Americas.
That is two Americas, hence the multiple.
That would be a cool new development, and it's not unreasonable for the setting given how over the years that pipeline between South American countries and Miami has basically been a highway for cocaine smuggling, most notably Colombia in the 80s and 90s courtesy of Pablo Escobar and the Medellin cartel. And that's a lot of fodder for Rockstar to play with.
The South American drug trade's been subject of tons of movies and media, most recently with the TV show Narcos following the exploits of Escobar, but I mean, honestly, even that's barely scratching the surface of the available material. So there's a lot that can be mined and in very typical Rockstar fashion, twisted into their universe. It's kind of interesting to think about all the stuff they could do with it.
They already got that underway with 2002's Vice City. That game was set in the 80s, and the story revolved around newly released prisoner Tommy Vercetti as he builds up his own criminal empire.
Well, as for the upcoming game, our source wasn't clear whether the game's going to be set in a current-day Miami or some point in the past, but it wouldn't be surprising to see it take place in a post-Vercetti era with, I don't know, lots of callbacks, but room for a whole new story.
In the past, Rockstar president Leslie Benzies has commented on potentially returning to Vice City, and he did note that Vice City was as much about the era as the setting, and that it would be strange to revisit the city in a different time period, so maybe not so post-Vercetti?
Yeah, I'd be very curious to see how this is going to break out. Regardless, this game sounds like it's going to be bigger in terms of scope, especially if it involves traveling back and forth to multiple continents. That's a lot of work for a developer, especially to live up to the standards of modern gamers. But with the scale of environments they've built to play around in, but got tons of faith in Rockstar that they'll do a good job with it.
They have a good track record.
Pretty good.
And in terms of vehicle travel, if the game is going to focus on the South America to Miami drug pipeline, it will almost certainly include a lot of boat and air travel, especially if you're trying to smuggle drugs and keep away from the watchful eyes of those damn authorities.
Apparently, Rockstar is in the early stages of development still, but according to our source, it could be released in the next 3 to 4 years, which would put it in the 2021, 2022-ish range, and about 8 or 9 years behind GTA 5.
That seems like an eternity away.
It does seem like it's very far away.
If it's true, it would mean that the gap between mainline GTA games is getting longer and longer. GTA 3, which launched the franchise into the stratosphere, released in 2001. Grand Theft Auto 4 came out in 2008 with a 7-year gap, and GTA 5 released in 2013 with a 5-year gap.
Yeah, I mean, you could count Vice City in there, 2002.
San Andreas.
Yeah, but as far as numbered entries, that's the sort of the timeline. The timeline also loosely matches up with a forum leak from 2016 where it was reported that one of the next big online expansions would be Vice City for Grand Theft Auto 6. Back then, it was reported that the expansion was set to come out 2020 at the earliest.
Hey, speaking of GTA Online, if this timeline from our source is accurate and GTA won't be coming out until 2021 or 2022, that indicates to us that Rockstar and parent company Take-Two are leaving GTA Online plenty of time to do what it does best, earn a bunch of money.
A shit ton of money! The multiplayer facet of GTA 5 has honestly become a huge part of Take-Two's overall business. Last August, the company noted in its first quarter 2018 financial report that its year-over-year net revenue grew by 34% to $418 million, and that growth was thanks to digitally delivered net revenue, meaning GTA Online, which grew 56% itself. And this is years after the game launched.
It's been a long time. And it was reported in the summer of last year that GTA Online had earned a total of more than $1 billion, which has certainly gone up since then.
Oh, those shark cards. So, yeah, even years and years after release, GTA Online still makes Take-Two a lot of money. Not surprisingly, Take-Two said last year it would extend the life of both Grand Theft Auto 5 and GTA Online.
If and how GTA Online makes the leap to GTA 6 is also up in the air. I'm sure they're going to figure out a way.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
In the past, Rockstar has indicated that Online might run alongside new sequels, in which case the Vice City expansion for the existing GTA Online certainly makes sense.
Now, on the other hand, and this was an interesting comment, Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick, he's made some comments that have been pretty upfront about potentially shutting GTA Online down at some point. In 2016, he said, not only was it not our intention that GTA Online was permanent, but it's important that it not be permanent. We have to rest the franchise at some point.
So we could be looking at some kind of relaunch, or he looked at the amount of money it was making and gave it 2 thumbs up to keep going.
It's like, who needs to rest?
At the very least, 9 years between mainline titles sounds pretty restful.
Yeah, well, anyway, they're definitely refocusing in the near future, which could be as good as a full franchise rest for GTA, because Rockstar's San Diego studio is getting ready to launch that Red Dead Redemption 2, which is scheduled to come out October 26th, and that's set to have a pretty major online component as well. So maybe they're hoping to shift people over to that and then shift them back to GTA 6 when that comes out.
Well, hey, maybe this is a timeline that will give us a chance to wait out all this video games cause real-world violence nonsense that seems to be back in the air here in the United States, because Grand Theft Auto games always get dragged into that debate.
That's a hot coffee.
Maybe it'll all have died down by the time GTA 6 releases.
And one more minor tidbit, as for the game's protagonist, this has been rumored before, and it is apparently still yet to be fully, firmly decided, but there are rumors we could see a female lead for the game, which, again, would be an interesting choice. Not something they've done before. No word on whether it would be one of multiple protagonists like they do with GTA 5, or if they're going back to a single lead format there. With it being early days, that could also change during development.
So that's about all we know at this point when it comes to the next Grand Theft Auto game. In true Rockstar fashion, it sounds like an ambitious project, and we can't wait to see what they come up with.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
It sounds fun. What do you guys think about this leaked information on the next GTA game? Sound cool? Let us know in the comments.
And for all your Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto news, be sure to like this video, and if you're new around here, subscribe to the know.